Hi, my name is Steph Clemson and I'm here to talk to you about comparative business communication. The businesses in question are Malaysia Airlines and American Airlines, both involved in the international navigation industry. On September 11, 2001, American Airlines Flight 77 was hijacked by five individuals in attack on the United States. The plane collided with one of the World Trade Centers in New York. On board were 53 casualties. Unfortunately, there were no survivors. The crash resulted in the destruction of the building, which killed many and left hundreds injured. On 8th of March 2014, flight MH370 was due to arrive at Beijing, China, but was confirmed missing by officials. 153 people on flight remain missing at this time. A number of good and poor choices were made in relation to the communication process of the aftermath of each tragedy. The communication in which I am evaluating is the use of written, verbal, non-verbal, and cross-cultural communication. Written communication. Malaysia Airlines communicated the disturbing news to family members via text message. They stated, "Malaysia Airlines deeply regrets that we have to assume beyond any reasonable doubt that MH370 has been lost and none of those on board survived." This generic message was viewed as disrespectful towards the missing victims and their loved ones. Would you want to be told that your loved one was missing through a text message in the middle of the night? I believe this form of mediated communication was used was unethical and lacks empathy. Throughout the nature of the text message and stops a flow of the communication, creating a one-way connection. American Airlines, on the other hand, when fully equipped with this situation, sent police officers to passengers' family homes to deliberate the news personally. Private phone lines were also opened up to families and to further communicate any information. I believe this was a more constructive strategy, as this ensures a face-to-face and two-way communication atmosphere where an empathetic tone can be recognized. Verbal communication. Malaysia Airlines released false timelines and ideas to steer the blame away from the company. This involved the ideas of hijacking. Later, this was retracted and made clear that Malaysian Airlines were unaware of the situation. This created a negative effect in the public view and made officials to appear as liars. American Airlines ensured that they knew any information that would be handed directly to the public. Officials reminded the public of the hundreds of people that were assisting and what their plan was for the future. Both companies reacted to the situation in a short-term effect to ensure each situation was taken into their control. However, the content of Malaysia Airlines' numerous incorrect messages backfired and created a negative effect in comparison with American Airlines' consistent honesty policy. Non-verbal communication. Airlines offered assistance to the passengers' families in organising travel arrangements, medical needs, and accommodation. Financial support was also taken into place to cover these necessities to ensure family and friends were taken care. In the case of Flight 77, American Airlines took financial responsibility for doctors and emotional support professionals for a considerable time after the event. In most circumstances, this action was taken further by relocation of support teams to families that lived in out-of-state areas. These non-verbal communications by both parties were taken as positive actions in the public and ended as constructive and helpful. Cross-cultural communication. A factor in which I believe was a success in the strategic management of Malaysia Airlines was the cultural communication aspect. This involved the translation of various languages on their specific website that was solely provided information on the missing flight MH370. This was to comply with the public language and understanding needs. On board the American Airline Flight 77, there were a total of 6 nationalities, American individuals being the majority. Due to the extent of the story and other aspects of the incident, international news crews were able to cover the story in great detail within their country. Cross-cultural communication was not prioritized due to the degree of the situation. In conclusion, I believe that American Airlines have reacted with a more appropriate and successful risk management plan, whereas Malaysia Airlines was viewed to be unorganized and failed to reach the satisfaction of the public's expectations and requests in relation to the procedures taking place of missing flight MH370. Wouldn't you agree? I'm Steph Clemson. Thanks for watching.